to the live.
Since the government ordered for a closure of all learning institutions back in mid-March, there has been almost a month, and young people have been with their parents, right from primary school all the way to university. This is not usual for them. And most likely they are seeing this as very unfamiliar grounds. Madam Rizi, you have been a teacher, you have been a parent, and you have also been encouraging young people on how to live well with their parents. What would be your comment on this?
Yeah, I can assure you that it's not going to be easy, and I'm sure so far it has not been easy. But we have to really know that this is a passing crowd. This is not something permanent. It's something that will come and go and leave us where we were before. So it is unfortunate if you would want to take this particular time to do maybe what you wouldn't do. You should continue with your life in the house. During the day, you are still in house. At home, in the evening, you are at home. You need to know that you are still a student, whether you are in high school, whether you are in primary, and especially college and universities. Get to know that we are not on holiday. The minute you get to know this is not a holiday, then you know what you are supposed to do. I would urge you at least to do some revision, do some getting to know more, and divide your time in phases. That you have some time for reading, you have some time for TV, because you have got the access to it, and some time to get to do other things. But please don't waste your day in going out there, getting into bad company, and then you keep on remembering during the COVID-19 time, that's the time I started drinking, that's the time I got into drugs. Be very careful.
So precisely you're saying that they are, even though they are not in school physically, if there's a learning institution that has virtual learning, that is e-learning, the students are supposed to be kept busy. They are supposed to keep themselves busy with the materials that they are getting from their schools. And we have also seen even lower primary, some of them are still getting materials that can assist them in academics. Thank you very much, Madam Lizzie. Auntie Truvena, you have been a counselor here at NIBS Technical College for a while now. And you have seen the behavior that sometimes young people will exhibit, a behavior of defiance. Majority will be told to stay at home by their parents, and sometimes the parents will leave home and maybe come back after an hour or so, and they find their sons and their daughters are not in the house. What would you mention about this?
What happens is every youth wants to have a time to explore, and that is how a young person is. And at this time, the youths are at home, and their parents there who are also very protective, because we need to protect ourselves and also to protect our loved ones. Now, as far as defiance is concerned, what I would like to tell the youths is that this is a time that we are supposed to be indoors because of what is happening inside there or outside there. And everyone is going through some psychological trauma because of this COVID-19. That means if you add your defiance to the parent, that means that now you are giving the parent a lot of stress, because he has to monitor you, then he has to make sure that you are inside, and automatically he also has the psychological COVID-19 going through them as parents. So what I would like to say is, this is not the time to loiter about. This is also the time even to be there for your parent, such that the parent will not worry for herself or himself, and again worry for you as his child.
So precisely you're saying this is a passing crowd, as Madam Lizzie have mentioned before, and therefore they should understand and be patient with it, because we are in it, all of us, and soon it will be over. Madam Lizzie, if I get back to you, severally you have mentioned about technology, and previously in your advice to the students, you have really guided them on technology. We are living in a time when they have internet, and they have this internet in abundance at home, and sometimes it could be misused. What would you mention about it?
It's good that you have really mentioned about technology, and you have mentioned about everything that important Truvena has also talked about this kind, the exploration part and all that. The technology is very good. and you can use it both ways. But I would urge you to know this is school time. Use the technology more on what, if you have been sent a note by your lecturer from wherever young, as we have been sending the notes, we have been very active on social media using our platform. So I would want you, even when you go out there, to think that we are still in school, so that when the timetable comes, you go back into the house and do your work. And again, like somebody else, the Trufen has said, you still also need to know that you can now assist your parents in doing some of the home things, because the time is there. And I keep on telling you, you have 24 hours. You can divide your time positively, so that you are useful. Instead of adding the stress to your parents, you are easing it, but at the same time, they can also know that you are doing something for yourself, because you are in school and that they are paying fees, they have been paying fees. So make sure that they can see that their fee is not going to be wasted.
Thank you very much, and it's good that you have mentioned this, because there was another platform, and this was also going through social media, where one of the learning institutions, and this is actually a primary school, but they have an e-learning platform, and they were supposed to have a class on Zoom, and when they were sent the link, most of the kids, they opened the link and found porns, and everybody was shouting, screaming, and therefore your advice is timely to the young people on how they are supposed to be responsible while they are using the internet. And to Ruvena, it is a common practice for young kids actually to watch cartoons. And it will be very difficult for many parents to control them, watching cartoons or dividing their time to watch cartoons, and also watch and also do their academic work. What would you say, or what would be your guide on this?
Now, concerning what the young people would want to watch, what I would like to advise the parents is, I think it is very important to know also how to maintain our young people in the house. That means if whatever they are watching on TV is helpful to them, remember, as a parent, you are supposed to allow it such that this youth will not feel so idle in the house and would not want to go out. So if whatever they are watching on TV is helpful to them, I would urge the parent to be very understanding as a way of keeping that youth engaged in mind. And also, we should also, like now the government is going through, if you look at most of the channels, the government is having some educational platforms from primary all the way to secondary schools. So what I would say is, if for example, a parent has his or her favorite program,
Yes.
and in another channel,
Yes.
there is an educational program, I would suggest for the parent to sacrifice that his favorite program and go to the educational platform.
Correct.
Which is offered by the government.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. And our viewers, you can still send your question on the numbers that are landing on the screen, and we will respond to those questions as we move on in our discussion. Madam Rizzi, severally, while again you are addressing the students here in Leeds Technical College, you have mentioned about them learning from their parents, and I know that we also have young parents who are viewing, who are together with us on Facebook Live, and at the times you'll find that even as girls, they will not run everything in school. They would like to know cooking, and I have heard you mention before how you used to live with your daughter Sarah, and you could take her to the kitchen, sometimes introduce her to some form of cookery. We also have men who are at home and they need to introduce their boys to, you know, what they need to be as a man. What would you mention?
That's a very good observation, and it's a topic I have shared with parents out there when we go to churches or those gatherings. And I need to know, the parents need to know that the world has become one. I mean, you see, when you grew up those time, a long time ago, you were introduced to maybe to friends of the opposite sex, or if it's girls or the boys, they would meet the same. Let's say if you are Kikuyu, you are in a meeting Kikuyus, If you are Ruyas, you are meeting, you are meeting your clan people, your tribes people, people from your tribes. So what I would want to mention here is maybe the some of the parents have not given their children, especially the ladies, a chance to come and to work in the kitchen before. Now they are out there, they are at Leeds, they are at KU, they are at where they are going to meet people from all over the place. And you may find that your girl is going to introduce you to a boy from Kisumu, or from Coast, or from somewhere, from a completely different tribe. I would ask the parents to be encouraging their daughters to learn either from Google or from what you know, how to cook different kinds of food. Because there are some men who will not eat food cooked by the house girl. I have heard of some. I don't know the percentage, but they're there. So what I would want to tell the mothers is, from the beginning, from primary to high school, please try to train your girls how to cook. Of course, there are boys who would want to observe from far, but even them, you should introduce that to them. I was being given this story about that girl who got married to a Luo. So every day when this guy comes, he's given rice, or he's given sometimes whatever this lady could imagine that is the most popular food. And this young man stopped eating at home because he was used to ugali, very well prepared. In 10 minutes, in 5 minutes, the ugali is ready, the skumamiki, the fish. So, and then the girl was wondering, why isn't my husband eating my food? So I would want you to now take this opportunity, especially those young mothers who are at home, who are not going to work, who are not going for their hustles, to take this time to train your kids about the kitchen work, cooking,
Yes.
washing dishes, cleaning. Let them learn.
Yes.
Because even me where I am, I may not sometimes have a house girl. I have to do their own cooking, cook for other people in my house,
Yes.
and then do the cleaning in my house. So housework is not reserved for those people who will just go home and employ other people to do it for them. It is for all of us. Please take that very seriously and learn.
Wonderful, thank you very much, and I can for sure, I know our viewers are really benefiting. And as I would like just to conclude, to mention something that Madam Rizzi have mentioned, just to re-emphasize that, as a young person, most likely you will not be on your running platform from morning to evening, and therefore, the remaining time when you are not in your books, you can still run to the kitchen, even as a man, even as a young lady, and train yourself some techniques here and there. Auntie Trufena,
Yes.
drug and substance abuse has been common, even sometimes when students are going to school, right from primary school to university. And this time, and especially in the States, you'll find that some parents are not very authoritative, and therefore their children will leave home and mix with their estate fellows. This is where you may find drugs are very common because they are idle, and sometimes their parents have left for business. There are some who are still going to work. What would be your advice to the young people, and especially at this time while they are idle?
Mostly the idleness is one of the factors that can make a young man go on drugs. What I would like to tell every parent, let me start with the parent, that it is very good to make a timetable now that we are all at home. That is, you share the duties among your children, such that your children will be answerable by the end of the day. Then, concerning the drugs, no young person should have a reason on taking drugs in the name of being idle. Because consumption of drugs, it's dangerous to your health. That one we all know. So, even if you try to say that I am taking drugs because I have nothing else to do, there is so much you can do, even around your home, through your phone, on TV, and everything else. So I would urge those people who probably are out there taking drugs, that they are idle, they are not going to school and all that, that should not be the reason. And because choices have consequences, of course, the consequences will be there after your drug consumption. Let me go back again to the technology just a little bit, that every young person has a smartphone or a phone that you can go to social media. What I would like to say is, and from my observation, is these young people, they are not really interested in watching the prime news that is from the mainstream media. So what they go to the WhatsApps, they go to the forwards, they go to other type of medias to get the information. Now, when you rely so much on those forwards, some of them, they can be fake news and they can cause a lot of anxiety. So what I would urge is, instead of having anxiety because of what you read and what you watched, the first question you are supposed to ask yourself is are these news authentic? Are they coming directly from the Ministry of Health? Are they coming directly from the mainstream media before you believe them? Because every young person, his or her eyes are on the phone, and that phone, you can get a lot of fake information, and again you can also get the genuine information. So it is your choice to choose the right information or
Yes.
the wrong information.
Wonderful. And therefore, I know you have heard that this is your life. You must take control, and you must remain responsible. Remember, most likely in the coming few weeks, you might be coming back to school. Madam Lizzie, I know our students are watching and they are following us. And you developed a very good system that have kept them busy since the schools were closed. An e-learning platform that is so engaging. And for the last 1 week, they have even been engaged on videos. And yesterday we had some Zoom crowd class, and students are very happy. What assurance would you like to give them as our principal?
Thank you very much, Jenga, and your team and your IT team in what you are doing, because it has really helped some, mostly all the students who have access to internet. But there are still some those who are very far and complaining, and others complaining that they don't have smartphones and all that. Some of them with very genuine reasons. But we can only do so much. We may not be able to do everything. But I can assure you that even where we are doing the best we can. We want the best for you. Like we have always said, I'm here for you, and what I can do, we will do with my team, very active team. Right now, they are in offices working on it, and we are going to continue with that. We would also urge the parents to appreciate what we are doing. The teachers are not on leave; they are working. They are working towards that, and if we need to encourage them in all ways, for them to know that they are working for people who are appreciating their work, by attending classes, by interacting, by doing everything, so that the teachers can even earn their salaries out of that. So it is a two-way thing, that a motivated teacher will do more than a demotivated one. It is a fact. And again, we are looking at we were thinking about how we will not make our students repeat when they come back. They want them to continue. We are looking for a continuation of the semester, so that if you joined in January, we want you to finish after exactly where you had intended at the time your term intended to be. But if you lose a term or 2 semesters, which is rather unfortunate because this was unexpected, we'll be able to do something that we only work on division, and we'll catch up very quickly. So we are happy that we're able to do that. And there is something, Jaga, you mentioned about some mistake happening during these exchanges on social media or internet that could bring in some bad things which the kids are not supposed to see. I would want to urge all the ICT people, wherever they are, out here and in whichever school, and I'm sure the school you mentioned is a primary school, to be very careful with this, because you can be sued by parents for that. Be 100% careful on what you said to the students. Don't say anything personal, just said what is in the syllabus. Don't anything else, please leave it until the students come here. Then we can interact directly and we can catch up directly. But be sure that whatever you are giving the students is within their syllabus.
Wow,
Thank
wonderful.
you.
Thank you very much. And I know you have invested, the college has invested a lot of money in this system, and you are still willing to see it to the end, just to make sure that the students are kept busy. So many questions are coming in, and thank you very much. I can see engineering students are sending questions. I can see IT students, thank you very much. I can see journalism, very vibrant. Hospitality, wow, they are saying just cooking. Now, wonderful. Now, I want to direct one of these questions to Madam Trufena.
Yes.
And a student here is saying he is in engineering, and of course he is a man. And back at home, they are born together with two sisters, and is from a single parent.
Yeah.
It's just a mother. So he is in the house, rocked, with just girls. And I say girls in quotes, including the mother becomes also a girl. And in this case, you know, he is wondering, he is learning nothing, because every time they wake up, kina mama wanashuka nywele hapo pamoja, the girls are moving up and down, and for them they are happy. He is not used to this. What would you mention about this?
Thank you for that question. In fact, I approved that engineer student. What I would like to say is that everybody can have something to do, it's regardless of the gender. Now, in this case that we are having two girls and one guy, I believe that there are also some duties in that house that this boy can engage. It starts with the mind. Immediately you tell yourself that I am in the midst of ladies, so I cannot do anything. Then that one will be very self-defeating. I know, one, if he is already our student, that means that he is going through the e-learning. That is one duty that he is supposed to do. Then there are also some assignments that our lecturers are giving. So that is also another duty. Then outside there, that is probably outside the compound, he can do some duties like fencing, all that. And then nobody said that there are some duties for women or for men, because even they can co-share the house duties with his sisters, including even washing the dishes, because this is a time that we are all at home, not because we want, but because of the pandemic out there. So
Agree.
he can do so much,
Yes.
because we are forced to stay at home. So he can utilize his own time doing the duties around the home, regardless whether they are ladies' duties or they are men duties.
Thank you. And I can see questions are still coming in. Some we may not be in a position to go through all of them, but those that will manage to answer, we will answer all of them. I can see here some students who are saying, say hi to Madam Rizzi, tell her we miss her so much, and we are looking forward to a time when we can come back to school. We love you, Mom. I can see a parent here who have asked a question, and this one I will direct it to Madam Rizzi, that she lost her job. Actually, she got her letter. She has a son who is in school, one in NIBS and one in secondary school, and she is really tormented because she is not sure of her future. What would you mention about this, Madam?
That's a very difficult situation for anyone to be at. You have lost a job, you don't know when you are getting it back, or you have lost your business, you have kids in colleges or somewhere else, or maybe in high school where money is needed. It is going to be a challenging matter. But what I would advise this parent is to just be patient for now and wait until this thing we are done with. We are done with this curfew, we are done with this lockdown. You wait until then. In the meantime, I would want you to really concentrate on nurturing those kids at home, trying to keep them busy, like we have said here before, and wait until we open. When we open, there will be so many cases. I can tell you, US is not the only one. There will be so many others like that, because this thing is going to bring permanent problems that that may take years to recover. So just make sure that you don't get into depression. Because if you get into depression right now, because of thinking of the uncertainty that is ahead of you, it's going to be worse. Mine is, I have one of yours here. Let's wait until we reopen. We look at the situation, because even as the institution is not getting any fees, we are still having to do the payments and all that. We are all. Suppose you are like me. Both my businesses are closed. The school is closed. The hotel is closed. I'm at home. But I don't want to encourage anything that will bother me for now. For now, I'm happy, I'm comfortable. I can come here and we share that. I don't want you to call Auntie Truphena, you are into depression. Not now. Please try that. And again, remember, there's God. Put that to prayer. And I've told you many times, God is not in the church. God is everywhere. Wherever you go, you are carrying God with you. He just talk to God and ask for guidance. And that way, also as a human being, know what you are supposed to do as a human being, because miracles are not going to happen.
Yes.
This thing it just came to us. Let's not get into depression. Let's get us not getting to a hole whereby getting out there will be so difficult. Let's accept, obey the government instructions, and then know everybody is in the same boat and we will be okay.
Wow, thank you very much. And I can see even there are some students here. In fact, there was another student who had asked also the same question, because their parents lost their jobs. They are not very sure on what will happen. And therefore, I know that message was both for parents and also for the students to support their parents during this difficult time, and not also to be a difficult in themselves. Madam Truphena, I can see some students here are asking very deep questions regarding relationships, and especially during this time that in the state they are roaming all over, young men and young girls, and sometimes it's so tempting. And you know, as much as we are feeling COVID, this is an invisible enemy that we are fighting. But this does not suppress our feelings. So what would you say about it?
It's a very straightforward she answers.
I think concerning the relationships, relationships have been there in the times of happiness, in the times of sadness. And as a young person, the way you have said, it is true that the feelings are there. What I would like to say is, we are in a pandemic era. And we have to be very protective of ourselves and also protective of others. The moment you think that you can sneak into your boyfriend's house or your girlfriend's house, that is the moment you have decided to make this thing move more and more. Because you do not know, we were told that even your nearest neighbor is a suspect of this pandemic. So the best thing is, what I would say is, we can suppress, or youth can suppress their feelings for now, for the sake of their health, because relationships can always come later. That means that we will not have this pandemic forever. We are praying God that there will come a time when it will be over, or when there will be a vaccine. But your relationship you can get it again. But remember, if you get sick or transferring this disease in the name of your girlfriend, in the name of relationship, it is very hard for you to get yourself again in the future. So what I'm saying is, we can suppress the feelings, we can suspend the relationship for the sake of our health and for the sake of others. Because take a look that a young person from the college has just left home. He or she has sneaked into a girlfriend's place, and probably that girlfriend is positive, because we are told that you do not know who is positive or who is negative. Then that boy comes back to their house, and probably it is a house of 5 people.
Yes.
That means that 5 people from plus him already they are sick.
Yes.
It is not good. It is
So
not
see-
even fair.
Simply, you are saying they delay their feelings.
They can, you know,
And,
they can just delay them
You
for
know,
the sake
we have,
of this.
yeah, we have talked about this for a lot. We have been talking about this.
Yes.
Even as I talk to the students here.
Yes.
What I tell you, I know you have those feelings. I was also a teenager at one time.
Yes.
Those feelings will always be there. In fact, even falling in love is normal. You know, feeling that you want somebody, you are falling for somebody, it's normal. We all used to do that. But the most important thing is what you call discipline, self-discipline, and always asking yourself, what if I did this, what would happen? When you ask yourself what if, and think deeply about it. We don't want here to come and be told, oh, now so and so is pregnant with a COVID-19 kid. I mean, it's going to be disaster. Let's not have any memories. Never ever imagine. We know when we were locked inside the house, that's when I got pregnant. That's when I got HIV/AIDS. That's when I got into drugs. You are creating history from a very something we want to forget completely because we know what it has done to the world. Think about your future.
Wow, wonderful. Madam Rizzi, as you make your also final comments, I would like you to also comment on some of the things that have been so disturbing on the mainstream media, where young people are being caught, sometimes they are with a car somewhere, hiding, taking alcohol. Others are going for COVID parties. They enclose themselves in a house, drinking themselves silly. And these are some are young people who might be, who knows, who might be also students, in universities or colleges. What would you like to mention about this as you make your closing remarks?
Yeah, I think that is happening, and I think here in another place I talked about that, about what they are doing. But I want you to know one thing. I want you to know why the government is so serious about this. Why they are coming there on a daily basis to talk to us directly on all media houses is because they know their government. They know what is behind it. They know what they can afford to do, what they cannot do. They know the beds, the number of beds they have. They know the number of incubators they have. What do we call this?
Masks.
Not masks. Masks are there in masks. When you are in the dying stages, what do you get in? Ventilators.
Yes.
Let me tell you, we have 500 ventilators the whole country. 500.
Yes.
In America, they are dying 3 times that much in one state, one day. So imagine here if it happens to us, we all die. So please take it seriously. Listen to what the government is saying. Those drinks will always be there. And I had also talked in the morning about those men who are taking drinks home and drinking in front of kids. By the time this thing is gone, some of your kids will be drunkards as well. So be careful what you do with whatever behavior you are getting involved in. It can turn out to be a disaster you'll never forget.
Wow. Thank you very much, Madam Rizzi. Madam Rizzi is the principal at NIBS Technical College, and she has been our mom. She has been our mentor and also motivating us as students and also as members of staff to move on, to soldier on, and giving us hope in life. So thank you very much, and I know even the students have really enjoyed and being encouraged, even the parents who are watching. Madam Truvena,
Yes.
as you make also your final comments,
Yeah.
there is also a disturbing question here of a young man here who is saying his brother was arrested, not really because he was sick, but he is now in one of the centers where the government is taking those who don't want to follow rules and regulations that they have set. And he has been there now for 9 days, and government have extended this the stay there. What would you mention to those who are at home as you make your final remarks?
Yeah, so that means that for the people who are in quarantine, their relatives are also affected psychologically. what you need to do is, the first thing is to accept the reality that one of your relatives is in quarantine. And you are supposed also to be very strong for that person, because you see, in a quarantine center, it is not the most comfortable place. Everyone knows that. But now when you are at home, you are supposed to be stronger for that relative. You are even supposed to be motivating him or her. Now that goes back now to us all, that we are supposed to be psychologically fit so that we can overcome this, because we don't want us to get out of COVID-19, then again we drift into depression. We want to get out of it when we are whole. Now the first thing you need to do is to look for someone to talk to. Talk to someone, and when you feel that it is too much, the stress is too much in your mind that you do not want to contain, you can engage in talking to someone. And if there is nobody to talk to, you can also write. Psychologically, when you are writing, it's like you are talking to someone. Then the other thing is, we are supposed to learn to live with uncertainty. Yes. Because what people are going through is because of this uncertainty, and that is why people are getting so anxious. It is okay to be uncertain of our tomorrow, because even if we want to know how it will come, we won't know. So it is okay to be okay with the present time and not to worry so much about the future. Now in NIPS, at least we have a channel where you can vent your stress. That is why we are having the number on your screen. And if for example your question is too long, we also have the email address that is running on your screen. That means that it will come to us as counselors, and we will reply to you as quickly as possible, because we also want to help you as community. Now for the parent, as I conclude, is every time or after maybe an hour, there are the TV updates concerning the COVID-19, and some of them, they are not all good news, thanks to this pandemic. What you are supposed to do is, you are not supposed, yes, we are fearing, but you should not sell the same fear to your child, because the child may not contain it as you are, because you are grown up. What I mean is, we are supposed to be a strong tower to our children. Make sure that the questions that your child is raising as a stressful child, you can reply to him or her in a very confidential way, that is with all the confidence, such that your children, because children do not talk more, but once they ask why this one was beaten, are we going to be beaten, the people we have several people who have unfortunately died. If for example your child asks you, are we also going to get infected and die, those are the questions that you are supposed to answer with all strength, showing a lot of confidence that we are going to protect ourselves and we may not die like them. So being confident for
Yes.
your child and being the strong tower for your child can make your child not to have the psychological trauma.
Wow. Wonderful. Thank you very much for all the participants. We really appreciate your time. I know you are spending bundles, as some are mentioning here, and we are very happy that at least you found the time. Also, you saved a bit of your bundles to log in and actually be together with us. I would only like to mention two things. One, as most of you are aware, the ICM exams were postponed to a later date. And actually, the Institute of Commercial Management, that is ICM, postponed the June exams to September. And therefore, for you, if you had booked your exams, please make sure you're on your books, because September is not far away. It's about 3 or so months. And therefore, you need to work hard. For the CASNEB students, you are all aware. I know you got some information, or so far you have heard about it, because we do communicate on our social media platforms as well as text messages. Exams will be in July, and therefore you need to keep on revising. And please make sure you even make phone calls to us so that we can keep on supporting you, and you also follow our platform. And even when we guide, as Madam Principal have said, that sometimes when you see us sending text messages to request you to make some payments, is to keep the teachers going. And therefore, please support us so that we continue supporting us. And you know, our NIBS DNA is quality, and we would like to maintain that quality. Thank you very much, and we shall be informing you about such forums in future. Shukrani sana.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
We shall